context behind your rank as well, any short-term means, some long-term goals, stuff like that, basically.
Yeah, well, I started playing like Overwatch when it first came out. I was a little kid, so I
Right.
just played like on my PlayStation. I just whenever I wanted. Then around 2020, I started playing more seriously also on PlayStation.
Right.
And then when Overwatch 2 came out, I just stopped playing for a while and came back December last year to play with my friends. And I actually liked the game again, and I started playing more seriously. And I was like low diamond, and I started playing ball. And I got there because of mechanics.
Right.
And then when I discovered your channel and Spylos, I got to Masters 3.
Damn, that's pretty
And I
high.
think, yeah, and I think I hit like my true rank there. So I had kind of a bad streak recently. I climbed up like with a 70% win rate, and I got back to Masters 4. But I think I can get back.
Makes sense, yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah, this game, the first point, both in attack and on defense, I play really bad, especially here the first. But then we managed to to push the cards, and then on defense we did very good as well.
makes
And we were
sense.
playing against. I wanted to maybe see some of the Mauga rollouts this other Chang was doing.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
saw bro flying across the map.
Yeah, honestly, it's very hard to see Naga, especially on this map. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I guess like the first thing with whenever you're playing ball is you will almost always have like any time in the mid fight or in the pre fight even you'll always have like a set of choices that you will need to make in terms of okay, I can disrupt their tank or I can boop their tank in. I can also mark this person. I can also dive the back line. You've got many options to do on ball, and often the thing that's going to prevent you, or the thing that's going to hold you back from ranking up, is being able to choose one of those decisions correctly in the midst of the fight. So when I ask you here, like, what is your role? Would you say when you're playing ball into this comp? What can you do? What are you looking for? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I am. Well, the both of the healers and the widow were playing super far away. So at first I couldn't do much to the widow because I was trying to mark her and
Right.
maybe for some cooldowns on the Diana or Kiri. But my team couldn't push card because of the high DPS of Bastion and Mauga. So I tried to disrupt as much as I could.
Like, yeah, and I think that's probably the correct thing to do. Malga Bastion on this map, like the way I see how this is gonna work is you will be the one to effectively zone out the Kiri, the Widow, and the Honor. Like you'll be diving them, you'll be rolling through them. They'll be, essentially you'll do things that will make them look at you. You can even just shoot behind them from a certain angle, and then that will draw away these guys' attention enough such that your team, your Zen, your Moira, your Hanzo especially as well, like your ranged characters, should be able to just turn and burn the Bastion and the Malga. Like this Malga's not gonna, he's not gonna have a shield. He should be easy to burn in cardiac overdrive. Bastion as well. Like this is the second these guys use their sustain cooldowns, so the turret and the Malga E, it should be fairly easy to burn these guys, and you can even get kills, especially on this map too, because it's super open. So I'm gonna be interested to see how you play this. I'm gonna be the main things I'm gonna be looking for are your uptime when you're actually diving these
Yeah.
characters or you're actually going onto these characters. I don't want you getting slept. I want these guys to be looking at you as much as possible. The Ana especially as well, not just the Widowmaker, because again that's healing detracted from the Bastion and Malga, and it makes it easier for your team to actually burn the Bastion and Malga if again the Ana's looking at you. And then also, if that doesn't work, then you can actually look to boop in the Bastion and all the Malga into your team, especially when they haven't got their forms or when they haven't got the sustain cooldowns. Like this Bastion might walk forward with turrets, but the second that turret ends, then that could be a great window for you to push him in, and then try and get a kill off of that. So in other words, like yeah, again, you're going to be doing the stop place a lot of the time, and then later into the fight you'll be diving again if any of these targets are out of position, or if this target you can disrupt them first and then dive them initially afterwards, depending on their cooldown. So we'll see what you do here. And Yeah, I mean, again,
First point is actually really bad.
yeah, because on paper it doesn't seem like your comp is significantly better than their comp in terms of, I guess, specifically the Bastion and the Malga. That is really like not great on this map, but we'll see how it goes here. Yeah, Mocking Widow, so far so good. Okay, fine-ish so far. So like, here's the thing, right? And this is really interesting. When the Widow grapples away, like around about here, is the Widow a threat?
No.
No, right? So, do you actually need to walk onto her right now and waste your adaptive shields?
Mm.
Right? You don't actually need to be doing this, right? Because the Widow has already fucked off. She's already playing this building here. The second she starts, zooming in and she starts to maybe scope in from this angle over here, again, she's already used grapple, so she really hasn't got many other choices to make. But the point here is your uptime on this angle needs to be high. So all you need to be doing here is either stand on this angle here, look at the Widow and shoot the Widow, or you can roll around, like you can just roll here and not even have to do anything, right? Because if you're the Widowmaker here, you know the ball's going to be over here, and you know the second that you start to scope in and zoom, then you're actually going to engage and go in, because that's what your character's supposed to do. But you going in early here, when this Widow's doing fuck all, is actually playing to her strengths, and this is actually what she wants, because she wants you, she actually did this team, what they want to do, is force you out early, and then, when you're rolling out, when you're getting resources back, etc., then the Widow can start to scope in and get value on the angle. But this kind of thing, where you're wasting your cooldowns early, is actually going to be detrimental to what you're going to be doing later on into the fight. Again, it's just Kiriko here, right? But maybe you take a steep dart here by Ana that you didn't need to take. Or maybe you take a nade, or maybe you get your HP burned, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, we'll see how it goes here. Okay, this is better, right? Like this thing that you're doing when you're hiding around the corner in ball form is really good, because you can literally just play Ring Around the Rosie. You can just avoid her damage entirely, and she just can't do much about it, and she's wasting time, right? Because she wants to be scoping in onto your Zen, Hanzo, etc. She does not want to be playing Ring Around the Rosie with you. So she's wasting her time. Again, the key thing here is, like, so far I'm not a fan of the adaptive shields, but so far this doesn't seem too bad. Okay. Well, now we get into, like, not great territory, right? Where, like, now we've used adaptive shields. You see Kiriko TP over, which is actually great. Like, this is great, because now, like, what do you need to be doing here right now?
I guess just still standard.
Exactly, right? Like, just still stand here and make sure, look at the eyes of these players. What are they looking at, right? Yeah. That's all you need to be doing, and you can see that because you're third person in ball form here, right? Look at what they're looking at. If they're still looking at you, you're doing a job, right? Because they're not looking at your team, which means your Reaper, your Zen, and this is exactly what I said at the beginning, right? Where, like, you want this to happen, where these three people are looking at you. I mean, Anna's looking at her team, right? But if she's effectively looking at you because of what you're doing, yeah. So you're zoning three people here. Meanwhile, your team are taking a 4v3 and burning the shit out of a Bash and Malga. Right, so far, this is good, but the issue is that you're grappling and committing when these guys aren't doing anything to your team. They're not lethal, right? The Widow's not scoping in and threatening your Reaper. The Widow's not grappling up and taking a grapple shot, and she needs to get booped out of a, LOS or whatever, right? Like, when the Widow starts doing stuff, then I want you to grapple, right? But this is kind of a waste, right? And it's sad too, because your HP gets burned. So if I go to your POV here, you're around 600 HP, but by the time before you grapple, now it's 400, 300, and now you have to roll out, right? And if I zoom, now you're 200 HP, and if I go to the Widow's POV here, what should happen here? And this is, how you just stayed here for a little bit longer. Like, look at the Bastion, right? He's getting, but look at the Malga, right? Armor burns, Bastion's 1 HP, and now because you roll out early, the Honor has to just. She's very easy for the Ana to just heal the Bastion, She hasn't got to make a choice between having to look at the bull over here and having to actually heal a Bastion, right? She needs to make a choice between that. There's really the uptime here. That's a bit unfortunate. And now, this is going to be time for the Widowmaker to start doing stuff. So, if the Widowmaker gets a pick now, it's on you. We'll see though. Okay, now you go back in. And I'll Kiriko go back in. So this is a little bit better from what you're doing here, right? So you're actually starting to contest the right side here, which again, a little bit better to do. But again, that's a missed opportunity there, because the Bastion was 1 HP, and hell, you could have finished him off, right? You could have actually saved grapple in this building, boop him in, and get that kill for free, and now you're in a 5v4, and boom, you won first fight, based off of that, you know? So again, it's the timing, and the zoning, and the uptime, that's really the main issue. It's your mindset behind why you're playing ball. Because again, macro-wise, with what you're doing, with what you're thinking, like, yeah, you are correct that you need to zone and mark Widow, right? It's just how you're doing it, that's the main issue. We'll see what happens here, though, when you get healed back up. Yeah, wait for your multi to heal you up. Fine. And, like, one thing, this is kind of it's more important micro when you're playing Malga than it is ball. But notice how it's a bit. The reason why it's important in Malga is because you've got very little armor. But ideally, you want to be engaging or re-engaging on full HP and full armor, because it means you can stay in for longer. Whereas, you know, when you're going on half HP, naturally you're just gonna stay out. You're gonna be your ability to stay in the fight is gonna be lessened. Just because again you've got less HP, which is again is like a domino effect from your first engagement here. Again, there's not much you can do about it, to be honest, apart from just waiting, right? Because it's you between a rock and a hard place. It's like you wait here longer, meaning that the Widow gets more value because you're not going onto her, or you're forced to go in early, and then, you know, it's a bit more risky because you haven't got full HP. But yeah, it's kind of a rock and a hard place situation there. And if that Widow hit that body shot onto you, you would have been half HP immediately. So you're lucky that she misses. This is better though, like this is slightly better with what you're doing, right? Again, I think you could have been using the cover a little bit better, but in terms of like duking around, like the fact that the Widow's looking at you, and you're not even shooting the Widow, right? That's the important thing. And again, what I think I would have liked to have seen, in fact, you tell me, what could you have done here instead, when you were looking to go to re-engage here? What could you have done?
Can you rewind a bit?
Yeah. Let me just do this. Yeah, like right about here, yeah.
So maybe wait like 1-2 more seconds so I get to full HP, and then see there if Widow is still looking at my direction, and then go in.
Yeah, right. So look at what literally, like, you again. This is the whole point of third person here, is that, like, again, you can see through what the Widow's looking at, right? And if she's looking at a team, then you can go in. Conversely, I think more positionally, what I'm more looking for, and again, this is why I talk to tracer players or flankers a lot at the time with this kind of idea, is, and again, you might be familiar with this, which is like playing aggressive but safe positions. In other words, playing how do you describe the mobility of this comp here? Can they chase you? Have they got a good ability to chase you on an angle? Say you're playing over here, can they chase you? No, they can't, right? Very low mobility to do that, right? Now, conversely, if they are playing Tracer into the Bastion, which I think, again, the better pick here is to play Tracer, or Sombra, God forbid, then that becomes a lot harder to do, because they can actually chase you down, and that's something that Sombras will always do. It's part of the reason as to why she's so annoying. Same thing with Tracer as well. But one thing you could do here is grapple off this rock, and then go all the way around, and then try and get to like a position to over here, maybe over here, grab the little the mini pack too. When you eventually get that perk as well to get a health pack, then that can also be a benefit to that as well. And then essentially, like, you're essentially this little rat behind the enemy team. And again, you'll subconsciously think you'll be behind over here, and the Widow will be constantly scared to where you are, because she knows, again, the second that she scopes in, there's going to be a ball coming in from behind. So she knows that then she's going to get dove here. There's not much she can do about it. Or again, what she does is that she wastes her time and tries to chase you, which is like pointless, because she's never gonna chase you. You can outrun her, and again bring around the rosy stuff, as we kind of alluded to earlier here. But yeah, it's something that, again, it's a bit harder to do on this point, admittedly, because it is so open. But I think if you do spot an opportunity to where you're going to maybe avoid this honor and try and get behind the enemy team, that's really annoying, because you can zone the enemy team for so much longer because you are behind them. And again, this Widow's going to be looking behind, and that allows your team to actually kill the Malga and the Bastion on the front line. But yeah, it's a little bit of map-specific stuff there, I suppose, and again, comp-specific here. But yeah, when we get deep into the map, that might be something you might want to be considering doing. But yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, and the unfortunate thing is that, like, the only damage you should have really taken there is Bastion Nade, to be honest, because Bastion Nade is kind of unavoidable. Or maybe Arna Nade, that's it, really. But yeah, Roto shots there, not great, and again, because you went in half HP, you're already, like, half HP yourself now, because, again, the Widow body shot and the Bastion Nade kind of forced you out, which is not great. And again, any picks the Widowmaker gets right now is going to be on you. The fact that your uptime on zoning the Widowmaker is so low, which is a bit scary. Okay, so your Mori just dies. I'm not sure if your Mori just got deleted. That might have been a body shot. Actually, no clue. Because the Bastion might finish her off. Who knows? Yes, like there's a I think she took a body shot by the Widowmaker beforehand, right? So again, like that's kind of on you, you know. Like the Widowmaker can't be looking down main. She can't. Again, your Mori's a bit dumb going down main, to be honest. But again, she needs to be looking at you, not down her angle. Which is the issue. Okay, now you go right side. I'm fine with this flank, to be honest. Fine. Now you're finally here. Good. And let's see how you zone. Okay.
And now this is like the problem I had before by just shooting at them when it's not good. Like the first engage on the Widow, it's more of the same, I guess. Instead of just being annoying, I just try to kill them.
Yeah, you're right. I think again that mindset shift needs to be like it's really really important because you're literally when you're zoning through people, it's very unlikely you're gonna kill either of them because again they're gonna get double healed or like again you go in Ana, she'll get healed by Kiriko, etc. Right? Like your goal is to distract these guys for so long that the Malga Bastion will just die. And again, we almost saw that first fight with the Bastion himself, right? Like he got discorded, he got forced out, he was 1 HP there, very very killable, and you could have been the follow up there. Again, as I kind of described earlier. So we'll see what you do here. Like, I actually don't mind you shooting here, right? Because on this map specifically, rolling through is going to be hard. Because you can roll through here, right? But it's a bit risky. Because if you get slept, you're going to get forced out and you're going to die. Or you're going to get headshot. So shooting is good. Because again, look at what the Widowmaker's shooting at, right? Look at what she's looking at. Looking at you. And that's exactly what we want. And again, look at the Malga, right? He's 1 HP. So as long as you can stay here, not get slept, keep your HP, I'm all good. But we'll see how that goes here. Okay, right, so that roll there is a bit better, right? I think when you start grappling, she looks away. Right, so here, and yeah, she's immediately turned, right? So you can see right here, she starts to turn back, right? Which is good. That tells you that you need to be actually going in, and you actually need to be doing stuff to Widowmaker right now, because you don't want her to zoomed in and get a pick while she's turned around. So this is good. This is a good timing of your grapple. I think it's a little bit scuffed though, in terms of like your actual mechanics of it, but I think the timing of the grapple is much better than what we saw earlier. I almost got slept there as well. Thankfully you avoided it, naded, whatever, no one cares about nade that much, and you still kept your adaptive shields, and the Ana and Widow are looking at you, right? So hopefully, this buys your team enough time to kill the Malga here, hopefully. Okay. Oh, this looks a little bit rough here though.
Yes.
Okay, we'll see here. You got the pack, you get naded, whatever. Yeah.
Back.
Yeah, you should double back. Right, exactly, right? So like you know she's got no cooldowns anymore. You know she's looking down here, so you're gonna take a guaranteed body shot. And you also know this is open space. This is not, right? Because you got cover here. From the little building. So yeah, it's a little bit of a double back there in terms of your actual uptime, right? But again, I think so far, I don't know what your mindset is in terms of like or I should say this instead of rather, I don't think your mindset when you're going on to the Ana and the Widowmaker is how long can I stall out these characters for? How long can I make these guys look at me for? I think your mindset is more so I want to kill this Widowmaker right here, right now. Which again, maybe in lower elos can work, right? Or against bad players can work. But again, in higher elos, it's never going to work. In fact, this Kiriko, if that does actually happen, this Kiriko will just heal, and then you're going to get forced out as you are right now. Which is not great for your uptime. The adaptive shields get forced out early, now you're in open space, now you're also taking Bastion damage as well, which is not great. And again, that could have been avoided by you double backing, and again, playing that, it links back to the aggressive but safe idea, right? Where you can play here, or like around this building, or like around here, right? Like as you did earlier, and A, you're safer, and also you're more aggressive, because you've got a deeper angle behind the enemy team. Whereas this is more passive but dangerous in terms of your actual angle. And again, this is a very counterintuitive idea from players, but it's important to understand. And you like that, right? Which is not great. And now, the Widowmaker's gonna have, what, like 20 seconds or so of just like free reign over your entire team. And again, that could have been avoided by doing this, right? Like, very simple. But it all comes down to what your mindset and what you're thinking in the actual game. Because I guarantee you, your mindset isn't, oh yeah, I want to stall these guys out for longer. You know, it's, I actually want to kill this Widowmaker, which is the wrong mindset. But yeah. Okay. And I'm sure that by process of elimination, someone's going to get killed by the enemy team here. Eventually. Yeah, I want to get killed to your Reaper. Okay. Now you're back. Okay, let's see what you're doing here.
Minefield charging.
Okay. Fine. Pathing's good. Yeah, so what's kind of your mindset here when you go into the Malga? What were you thinking, I guess?
Just trying to boop them, but the Mauga was aware. Was already looking at me, so
Right. Yeah.
I got marked out a release, and my team are just they are not in a good angle to shoot at the guys.
Yeah. So I mean, to be fair, like again, it's the uptime thing that's the main issue, right? Because if you're doing this, then it's fine, because most likely the Widowmaker is going to be looking at you anyways, right? So that you're drawing attention from the Widowmaker, which is good. The issue is that Malga destroys your uptime. He will burn you, and then you'll get forced out in 2 seconds, you know? That's why you need to be playing extremely far away from him, and that's the benefit of this map, is that the silence are so long, Malga can never reach you. In fact, you should never in this map specifically, never be able to just have any interaction with Malga here at all. And if anything, like, again, the second you start interacting with the Malga is getting what he wants, which is a brawl matchup, and again, to win the tank trade. So yeah, again, I question sort of your mind here again, where maybe here you could have taken a little bit of extra time just to look around and see where the enemy team are at. Again, in replays, you can see through walls here. But maybe we take a little bit of extra time to look around and see where the Widowmaker's at. Maybe she's playing up here, right? Who knows? Maybe she's playing up here. Who knows, right? Again, good Widowmakers will constantly change their position. So taking a little bit of time to understand where they're at, and then trying to actually mock and zone those characters out as usual. But yeah, like, again, I don't want you rushing into Malga, because your uptime's going to get cooked. That's not even land. Ugh. Right, like, immediately out, you know? Like, second he goes onto you, immediately out. Okay. Ooh, that's scary. Okay. Better. I will say, like, generally, your pathing's been pretty good so far. So not an issue there. Okay, good. Roll through's good. Pole driver, whatever, right? I think it's a little bit. I think that pole drivers are not great, obviously.
Yeah, Widow grappled like immediately back. She missed the first one and then went back again.
Right.
So I thought maybe with the boop I could.
Yeah, you hit the pole driver with the boop, yeah. Again, I think it's that mindset thing where you're greeding for the kill, right? Because if you do hit the pole driver, like, you're probably gonna kill this Widowmaker if you hit the pole driver. But again, that's never gonna happen against good players. Again, they're gonna grapple away. So again, the roll through was really nice. Actually, it was really good. You just placed the Widowmaker. Even this dumbass is coming at you right now, which is just incredibly stupid. Yeah. Because now your team's gonna get a lot of value down main. All this guy needs to be doing is playing. It's easy to be doing your job essentially, but the map's not great for his character, obviously. But yeah, you're again, that roll through was good, pole driver not so much, and now I'm scared because you got a big fat Malga coming your way, and you're now locked into an animation that's gonna hit nobody. So I would not be surprised if you got stomped out of this. But we'll see. He actually changes his path, okay? Okay, fine. Yeah, I mean, again, I think that's mainly because of your pathing from the pole driver there. There's not too much else you could really do because of how open it is. Your only path is to just roll around like this.
Yeah, I tried to like swing widely.
Yeah, to avoid the sleep dart, yeah.
Not directly at them, but yeah, it's so open.
Yeah, it is tough, yeah. I think the only thing I could say here is maybe doing some quirky rollout where you can see the tracer shot from the Widowmaker like this. You can see the tracer shot here. So maybe you can just like grapple up to this building here, and then pole driver in front. Or not, you've already used pole driver, right? But maybe you could just swing around and then start shooting the Widowmaker from here, right? Something like that could work maybe. But apart from that, like, I'm not gonna cry at you too much for it. Okay. Get slept. And now you're probably gonna get headshot. Ooh, that's rough. You're gonna get headshot there, actually. You're lucky. Okay. Better. Fine. Good pack. shoot the Widow, nice. No grapple. Unlucky, I know you're trying, what you're trying to do with the roll there, trying to boop her out when she drops down from the low ground. That's fine. Good. Short shields. Yeah, I mean, your team's already dead, I think, so I'm not gonna cry at you too much for that. Again, I think that was, again, that's probably your best fight so far in terms of the uptime, in terms of how many people you drew away. Again, I think, again, your team just died early, so they didn't really get any follow-up there. But again, had you done that a little bit earlier, or again, I think the pole driver there has kind of started the dominoes effect of you getting slept and then naded and then getting forced out, etc. But barring that, again, I think the way you played the building was pretty decent. The way you shot the Widowmaker when she was looking down main was pretty decent. I think the roll attempt when she grappled up was fine. I think all that stuff is great. It's good as option. And that's exactly what you need to be doing more. Okay. We'll see here. Okay. Fine. So Widowmaker's dead. Sojourn's dead. Okay. They got Ana here. Fine. Fine. Fine.
I got really lucky because she hit like her head in the border. So.
Oh yeah.
It was really weird.
Yeah, a bit weird there, but whatever. Fine. Ana, fine. Yeah, so like after you beat Ana here, I would still keep committing onto the Ana because you know she's not going to steal anymore. So yeah, just put on. You can essentially go for the hard dive. This is what I'm saying here. But yeah, and then you've also got Pole Driver too as well. Yes, you could have Pole Driven her. Unfortunate. Some might do it anyways. Yeah, not too much you could have done there. I mean, they used Cage, so you know it's kind of a free fight win for them. But in terms of your attempt there, not too much to add, barring diving the on a little bit more. Okay. See up here. Fine. Fine. Yeah, so this applies to what I said earlier in terms of like you do not want to get your resources forced out early. Like, I don't want you getting your shields forced out before your team can actually walk. Because like, right now, what's going to happen, most likely, is what I'm scared is going to happen, is you're going to get your shields forced out, you're going to roll away, and then when the Widowmaker starts doing stuff, you can't go back in because you need to get your shields back.
I tried to shield to maybe scare her away, but she didn't drop off.
Yeah. I think, mainly because your team's respawning here, I think all you need to be doing is, like, if we want to back a little bit, and go here, like, literally just stand in this building, shoot her in the face, and then maybe try and boop her off. That's it, really. That's all the attempt. You could have maybe tried to boop her off when you get your grapple back. But barring that, not so much else to say.
I tried to move her. Look.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Okay, you tried that, yeah. It's unfortunately not enough distance there, unfortunately. Because it's just too close to do so. But yeah. Okay. Force TP though, force just suit it. Okay, this is better now. So we're starting to force good cooldowns. They roll away. Fine. Okay. Fine. Good. Pack's fine. Puck's fine. Ah, it's unfortunate you missed it. Ooh, that's back a little bit. Yeah, I see what you're trying to do there, but it makes sense. Fine. Ooh. And now we're really rough. So this is dominoes effect of like, okay, we missed the boot, and now we're getting burned by Malga, and we're getting burned by 4 different people. Because what you're doing is fine, right? Like the Widowmaker's doing stuff, like she's zooming down main here, threatening your honors, it seems. So yeah, what you're doing there is fine. Just how you do it is a little bit rough.
Yeah, mechanical-ish.
I think maybe a little bit more patience there to be. I mean, look, with your gameplay, it seems to be patience is also another virtue that might help you out a lot. Like again, for the first fight, having a little bit more patience to look at the Widowmaker, having a little bit more patience here, just looking at the Widowmaker, which is looking at in third person, having a little bit more patience to let the roll go and actually hit the roll, stuff like that's going to be really important. And I think something that you might want to have a little bit of advice from Genji players as well is something that Genji players need to be thinking about a lot is their retreat paths a lot of the time. So that's something that, again, on this map as well, because it's so open, like after you hit the boop into the Widowmaker, you need to be thinking about, okay, I'm going to come around here, I'm going to hit the boop, and then I'm going to play over here, and then I'm going to use this as cover, and then I'm going to get my grapple back, and then I'm going to go for another engage around the building, and then start shooting from here maybe pick up the Mega on the way, right? Stuff like that. It's kind of what you need to be thinking of before you even go in. And again, that stuff is, again, all of that stuff is linked to uptime, in terms of, again, maximizing how long you can distract the Widowmaker for. But yeah, you're probably going to die for this though, sadly. Yeah, you do. Unfortunate. Okay, we'll see here. Mug is just running your team. Okay. Sights up. Okay. I'm not gonna question the timing of this too much because it is kind of last fight here, so you kind of do need to make a desperate play. And like any picks the Widowmaker gets now with sights is gonna be really detrimental. So I guess you kind of need to rush this engage. So I'm not gonna cry you too much for this. Yeah.
As early as possible.
I think mines, they kind of have to mines here. Sure. Fine. Again, I want you to keep the roll going. Is kind of the thing, right? So fine. This is good, but keep it going. I want you to boot the Widowmaker further.
It was, but the sleep, like if I get sleep, because I can't like cover with anything. If I get sleep, like I get shot by the Kiriko, the Widow, and Nana.
Yeah, I guess that's part of it, right? But like, I think when you're in Fireball and you're booping the Honor, it's just going to be extremely hard for her to sleep you anyways. And like, if you boop the Widowmaker, and like...
If I roll, where do I go after rolling?
Yeah, I mean, you probably...
kind of in open space.
You probably have to roll in and Fireball, and then try and get out to here somewhere. That's probably your best bet. Again, it's going to be scuffed, but because of the map geometry being super open like this, that's probably your best bet in terms of what you're trying to accomplish here. But yeah, I think either you can boop the Honor and keep going through it, or boop the Honor and then try and shoot the Widowmaker from this angle here with cover. Probably your best bet. We'll see what you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Sit there eventually, fine. Sure. Dance double boot. Okay. Good power driver. Fine. Yeah, so like after you hit the power driver and you realize you can't get the kill into the Sojourn, I would have just backed off, get the mini, and then you got the park as well, and then try and again just distract or zone out the Sojourn there essentially. But barring that, I think what we did was pretty good. Yeah, not too many complaints there. Actually, I want to rewatch that fight when you kill a Widow. Because I feel like I looked a little bit scuffed. And about here. Okay. So I think again the roll through is a little bit risky, right? Because it's the same thing you said to me about rolling through. Like here, kind of applies to here as well. You're rolling through an open space, which makes it easy for the Honor to actually sleep and kill you here. Yeah, I think a little bit more patience there. I think I would have preferred you to stand here and shoot the Widowmaker, or stand, or again, get your grapple back, and then look to grapple, maybe do a wall thing and pole drive off like that, maybe could work. But yeah, I think having a little bit more patience, a little bit more time to think about what you're doing, it's actually similar advice I give the Doom players, where whenever you have downtime on the character, that's a perfect opportunity for you to be thinking about what your next move is. So on Doomfist, it could be slamming in, then punching out, and then when you've punched out, then you can think about your next move. So maybe here, when you're shooting the Widowmaker from cover here, then you can start thinking about your next move with grapple, or something like that, when you've got downtime essentially. But yeah, barring that, I think everything else seems to be relatively fine. Good tech here, nice to see as well. Good double boot, good recovery power driver. No major concerns.
I don't know if I should have dropped there. I think because the Ana is below, I think I should have just stayed doing the Sojourn.
Yeah, so I think either one or two things, right? So either you have the confidence, like the mechanical confidence to start or keep doing the Sojourn here and try and win that 1v1, which I think is reasonable because again, you should be able to win this. Or if you're too scared or you're not mechanically confident enough, then you can either vote out to here and then again play aggressive but safe, or try and get the perk with the pack as well, and then play in your minds. But either one of those would be fine.
I thought, I don't know, I don't remember as much, but I thought like her jumping now, I think she would gone with her Ana to get healed.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, so her jumping, yeah, she jumps in this direction, so you think she's gonna jump off the high grounds.
Yeah.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, and again, I think I wouldn't be too kill greedy about this. I mean, you killed the most important person on their team finally, right? And now the Sojourn's 1 HP. So even if the Sojourn goes for a play, which it seems like she's doing because she uses the overclock, like you can just roll back in and kill her anyways. But yeah, I wouldn't be worried about it too much. Okay. All right. Yeah, it looks like your team carried this fight eventually. And the eventually get a seconds.
Like half second later, she killed.
Yeah. Okay. And then Oh yeah, going high ground. I was gonna say that. Good. Wait, sleep dart, nice. So that's all you bit the cover. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying over this. Honor, fine. 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 All this is fine. Like, it's the second point. Like, you're playing your time to get your cooldowns back. Okay. Hold over is fine. Okay. Yeah, so like, just be a little bit careful with, again, it's about retreat paths, right? So like, when you're timing like this, or rather when you're actually rolling up like this and trying to engage into the Sojourn, you need to be thinking about where you want to leave. So you can either like, again, grapple and leave, like here, and then grab the little pack, or you can do it like this. Probably this is one is better, because you've got a little bit more cover to use, and it's a bit closer. But again, that's kind of the idea. It's the aggressive but safe idea. That I want to see you do more of.
Yeah, I had that problem this in second point.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Should be fine though. Okay. Okay. Yeah, but again, I would have actually. Where could you path? Where could you set up again?
Retract to the window on top of the mega.
Right. So you could have actually. You could have done one of two things. I'm not sure if you can actually grapple over this. I actually don't know.
Yes, you can. You can.
Yeah. So you can either do that and then do like that. That's fine as well. Or
yeah, but I think that is more like unsafe because I
because
dropped
you're in open space, so it's a bit more dangerous to do. And it's longer for no reason. So yeah, I'll probably say this one's definitely the better option.
Yeah.
More cover, closer, and then again you can path around and do your next move, and then control this area. This would be a really nice setup area to sort of play around. We'll see what you play. Okay. I mean, yeah, she's isolated. She's alone. No honor. I'm fine with this. Fine, leave. Really good leaving there, so I'm actually really happy with that. I thought you were just gonna hard commit onto the Ashe there. The second you got naded, but I'm actually glad you left.
I got naded.
So you leave, great. And now she's got no sleep dart, no nade. You're still a decent HP as well, which is good. Great. Kiriko TP use as well. Alright. Sure. Yeah, great. So I'm actually happy again. You don't actually go into the Kiriko Ashe again because they're not doing anything. So you don't actually need to waste your cooldown to your HP here. So I'm actually really happy to see that. Hopefully, you end up marking the left side. We'll see. Okay. Sure. Fine. I think, again, it's a little bit of a micro here. But when you're going to the Ashe, how else can you path around it to reach the Ashe?
Yeah, maybe not like the way she can get like min-max her shift, her shotgun, so she doesn't boop me and she doesn't go back.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can. If I myself clear.
So the main thing.
So maybe try to shoot her to let her know I'm looking for her. And maybe track again where the scrapyard sign is.
Yeah. So that's exactly what I was gonna say, right? It's a little bit more complicated here because if you leave, then your handle's gonna be during the Ashe, which is not what you want here exactly. But I'd argue that's more in your handle's bad positioning than it is on you.
I thought maybe she had like 1 or 2 seconds left on her cooldown.
Oh, okay. Fine. That makes sense then. That's fine. Okay, good zoning. Okay, a little bit of a risky pouch over there, but whatever. Don't get that too much. Fine, good boop. Really nice boop though, actually. Yeah, so the second point here, I think the map geometry does help a lot, but so far, like, this is like a night and day difference between first point and actually what you're doing on second point. Where, like, so far, you haven't died here on second point yet. Your pathing so far mainly has been pretty decent. I think the left side window could have been used a bit earlier. But barring that, your uptime on these angles are great. Your shields seem to be pretty decent. Your ability to actually leave and actually know when to leave when the honor's going on to you is pretty good. You're never getting slept. You're playing like this sort of aggressive but safe playstyle pretty well, which I'm pretty happy with. So far, so good. Good, fine. Bad TP, sure. Nice boop. Nice. Great. Questionable nano by your honor, but who cares?
I guess she needs to survive her like herself.
Oh yeah, probably, yeah. That will make more sense. And now the honor nano's Amalga, so they go into the honor. Makes sense. Not seeing anything there. Okay, fine. Sure. Pretty good second point there. Okay, sure. I don't mind you greeting that. But fine. Nice boop. Nice. Yeah, your mechanics are definitely a strong point, for sure.
Yeah. I will force myself to diamond with just mechanics.
Right.
Because I remember playing when double boop wasn't nerfed, just ball, And then when it got nerfed or patch, I don't know how they said it in the patch notes, I stopped playing ball.
Oh damn.
So,
Okay. But yeah. Ooh, that's a bit risky. Okay,
yeah.
fine. Fortunately, your Andrew gets getting caught out there, but it's fine. And yeah, like, especially when now, like, I think third point's gonna be probably the second hardest point behind first point, I'd say, because of how close it is and how the Malga can just live for a little bit longer, which means that on this point, it's gonna be even more important that you do that aggressive but safe stuff, because again, Malga's got cover to play here this time, unlike first point, which means he can stay in for longer. It means you have to stay in for longer. So what I actually wanted to see here, at the beginning of third point, was you... But you tell me, what could you have done here at the beginning of third point?
Mm.
Like, around about here, actually.
This is fine, but maybe I should have waited to see where the Maga is, and then probably just stood there
Right.
because
So,
waiting for my healers to be in line of sight with the enemy team, and then pile drive in to the Sojourn, and then she um, slides away, and then just go to the Mega in the other side.
yeah, it seems like a pretty good plan to me. I think if their supports were alive, which they're not, because you just killed them. But if they were alive, I'd say probably play over here. And again, if I asked you, can the enemy team force you out here easily? If you're playing here,
Um, no, not that much, except if
not really.
like both of their DPSs rush me, like Ash
Right.
crouches
So like,
for the top,
unless
and
yeah, unless they've got some like super coordinated like Ash coach guns up here, meanwhile the soldier and the Malgo brush up here,
yeah,
and
but
the Kiriko like pins some
no
like
one uses voice chat here in South America, so
yeah, it's never gonna happen, right? So the whole point here is that like if they want to clear you out from this angle, it's gonna be very laborious. It's gonna be long. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough, right? Like it's gonna be nothing that they want to actually do here. So again, I would have liked to see you play around here when you're setting up here at the very least. Somehow get here. Again, you could have implied that again because the supports are dead. You can chase kills here when looking at their Malga. So Pearl drive here, roll out, grab the like roll out here actually. Grab the mini, and then walk up to the high ground, and then again you can just control this area and scare the soldier and Ash away, similar to how we saw in first point attack with the Widowmaker, just playing behind, playing that aggressive but safe position. Whereas here, this entire time, because you get forced out super early, that's not a viable option here that you have, which is unfortunate. Right, so like that entire, like, the second you actually land the pile driver here, you're under 300 HP, which is not great, because now you need to actually run away. And again, I think you're greeding the kills a little bit too much. You're a little bit too...
But I think it's fine here because their supports are dead, so they like cannot push up. So
Right, but if you're getting forced out here, like around about now, can you realistically, not power driver, can you realistically grapple from here to here?
no.
No, you can't, right? Like, and that's because you're committing for the kill. When in reality, there's no actual trigger for you to do that. So again, I kind of as you allude to, right? Take a little bit more time. Look at their Malga, look at their team. Can I actually go for the power driver here? If not, that's fine. I can just stay on high grounds. I can roll over here, and then I can keep this really ugly position for the enemy team that they can't clear me out from. So again, patience goes a long way with how you're playing. Because again, right now, like you haven't got the option to be able to play here now because you're low HP.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. Ooh, that's really ugly. So yeah, like I'm actually surprised that Maga doesn't burn you here when you actually go in front of him, and I think you actually stay full HP here for a long period of time here, right? But again, this becomes so much more simple and so much more clean had you just been set up here the entire time, right? Not only can you can actually see everyone, right? You can see the Sojourn, you can see the Ash. Like, you've got like a buffet of options here. You can just go in anyone you want, really, to be honest. I wouldn't really care because the Sojourn seems to be fairly split. The Ana is definitely split. That Ash seems to be pretty split from the Ana too. Like you could go with anyone here, but you don't know that because you're not set up here, which is really unfortunate. Which means that you're limited to just going in front of the Malga, which is not great. Not great. Your Malga kills the Reaper there, not great. Now you go on Ash, and again, you're doing good here in terms of, again, the target that you're going on, perfectly reasonable, right? I'm actually happy with you going on Ash here. It's the angle that I've got the main issue with. Is that no one's looking behind. Right? And I always say, if you've got mobility, or if you've got more mobility than the enemy team, you need to be using that. Otherwise, your character's just going to be doing less. But yeah. Okay. This is ugly, right? Like, your character's not built for this, right? If you're playing Amalgamera, this makes more sense. If you're playing Queen or Zarya, this makes more sense, right? But if you're playing Bull, again, had you been here, you can ignore the Bob the entire time, you know? It's aggressive but safe, right? And this is where the safe thing comes into play, where the safeness is the fact that you can ignore Bob and Malga, and not get burned here. And again, you're doing more because you can actually go on Ash or the Honor here in this sort of scenario. But yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I was just gonna say, go up to the right side, please. Don't shoot the Bob, don't shoot the Bob. The character's not good at that. Okay, better.
You see that Mauga?
he just, yeah. That's crazy tech. That actually, I never knew you could do that.
Yeah.
That's insane.
He did it like a lot of times in this point.
Yeah, I actually did not know. I did not know you could do that. The more you know. Okay, but this is better. This is way better. 9 day. Way better. This is okay. This is a little bit scuffed though.
Mauga is better than me, and the grapple is not that good.
Yeah. So I think the timing here is, I actually don't know, right? Because what should you be looking at before you even? Yeah, right. You already said it.
My
Right?
team.
Exactly. Before I even mentioned it, right? Your team. Like, are my team walking? Are they going up high ground? Is the Malga doing anything? Right? Like, can my team actually push off the space that I'm going to create? Is kind of the key question you need to be asking yourself here. And secondly, is how, if they are, how do I actually play this fight? Because even if they were, right? Even if your Ana, your Zen, etc. were doing stuff, which they're not, but even if they were, what's the issue with this power driver or this grapple here?
Just being like in open space when the Mauga can look at me, the Sojourn is in line of sight.
Right.
Maybe like I should have waited 1 or 2 seconds so the Mauga goes back and shooting my team, or maybe I should have gone to the left room.
Yeah, all great. Honestly, I don't think I could put that much better, to be honest. Right, in open space, they're running hit scans. You're gonna get burnt, right? It also makes it very telegraphed for the Honor to actually get sleep block onto you, because again, you are coming out in open space here. So yeah, that's kind of my main issue. And it looks like to me, by the body language of your character, it looks like you're gonna try and get a pole driver onto the Honor. I think. Again, if you do that, you're probably gonna get slept, which is not gonna be great. But yeah, how else should you approach this fight?
Yeah, as I said, like go to the left.
Yeah, right, exactly. Go to the left, have a little bit more patience, look at your team, etc. Right? Again, I think the key questions you need to be asking yourself. We'll do a summary of this at the end. But like, it's when can I go, and how can I go, or rather, how can I engage? Is another way you can put it as well. And again, we've talked about many ways you could do that. And again, you already know the answer to that. Again, it's the main thing in ranked especially is people have the tendency to just autopilot and do whatever on the character. And again, it's the mindset that you need to be in. You need to be constantly thinking about what and why you're doing stuff. And here, it seems to be like you're just going off of vibes. You're just going off of, hype moments and aura, not much beyond that. Oh, that looks ugly. The mines aren't that great. And that Malga should not have stomped there. But mine's not that great. I mean, it's not going to zone much there. I mean, you are doing some value here. I'm not going to say you're not doing it. You're not doing nothing, right? Your hands are whiz trying to get an angle like here.
Timing issue.
Yeah,
I think.
For sure. And the good news is that timing is very easy to fix, because as you just said, you just look at your team to fix it.
Wait 1 second and look at my team.
Yeah, literally. I'm actually glad that your mechanics are pretty good, because mechanics are way harder to fix than it is timing or broader macro stuff. But yeah. Speaking of that though, where do you roll out to? Let's see. Yeah, Pack's fine there, sure. Where should you roll out to?
To the left, to go to the high ground again.
Yes, right there, and then you can go up the stairs, etc. Do you actually do that? Let's see.
Yeah, no, I wait like. See, I hold my grapple and look back, so
you're right.
Like I could like go in again, maybe move someone to the mines. I think I thought that.
Right, right. And again, I think that links back to the whole greed thing of like, I wanna
Yeah,
greed the kill here. I wanna greed the mind boop kill or something like that, and that's gonna cost you positionally. Because again, like it's the difference between going through here and going through here is gonna be wild for how you would
yeah.
approach next fight.
It's like the domino effect. You
Exactly,
said.
exactly. Okay, see here. I see again. You did. Yeah, you are going around. This is the way to do it, though. At least, so you are doing it fairly decently here. Timing is great. Now you're actually they're using Kusumi Rush. Seem to be doing stuff here and sorting out pressure. This is good. Nice boot. A little bit. Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
unfortunate that the fireball stopped there. But I think barring that,
I
like, yeah, go.
no. I just like hit the wall.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Then the only addition there, I'd say, is going around behind rather than in front, because it makes it harder for the honor to actually hit
Yes,
anyone.
I maybe thought to like move the soldier because
Oh, yeah, she's using
she is like
Kasune.
walking forward.
Yeah. And she's dangerous, so that makes sense. But yeah, a bit unfortunate there. But I'm not gonna hold that against you too much. Shields are fine. Fine. That's unfortunate. Fine. Right, and like just like we talked about, yeah, you messed up the power driver there, but that's fine, right? But the principle's good, which is what I like. So again, as we kind of talked about, where you do that zoning stuff initially, like you zone off these guys initially, and then when this guy's low HP, got no armor, got no cardiac overdrive, then you can start actually walking in and punishing with your pole driver onto like the Bastion earlier, and then now the Malga, which is what you tried to do here, which is good.
Yeah.
A bit unfortunate because
I find it like hard sometimes to know kind of when their tanks are low because sometimes I do that, but when I turn back to burn their tank, they are like full HP. So
right. It'll,
that
it'll, it'll, it'll depend on the map. So, like, on the first point, it's a lot harder to do because the Malga's going to be so far away that it's just going to be so hard for you to actually follow up and punish the Malga, right? But back on first point, like, even in the very first fight, right? Where the Bastion was, like, over here, like, he's within your
yeah
range for you to actually punish him, right? Like, it's one grapple and then a couple of shots, you're fine. Whereas, again, normally what the Bastion should be doing is playing underneath here, maybe, playing a little bit closer, like with cover here. The Malka should be doing the same here as well. The Malka should be playing in cover here. And it's going to be a lot harder for you to actually punish the Malga because he's just so much farther away. Whereas still on third point, because the sidelines are a lot closer, it's actually easier for you to actually punish the Malga or punish the front line there when they're low HP or low cooldown. So it's going to be map dependent, to put it short.
okay.
But yeah. Okay. Fine though. Okay. Yeah, chase for the honor with your Reaper, that's fine. Thanks the dots, your Reaper can get the kill. And yeah, fine. Try and get follow-up kills. Shields are fine. Nice. Avoid the Malga just in time.
This ends now.
Okay, Sojourn uses overclock. Nice boot. Nice. Good play. On an X is reasonable. Love that pathing as well. I like how you're not going in front of the honor, going behind. Really good. Like it. Nice. And that should be third point. Nice. Good job. Pretty good at the ends. Let's have a little pick at. So didn't you say at the beginning that defense first point was a little bit rough?
Yes, but not like the on attack that I like. It was actually mistakes. It was like more like I don't know what to do here.
Right. I mean, I see they're running Sombra now, which is not gonna be fun.
Yeah, I set up here because I thought that like he was going to go Widow again.
Right. That's fine.
I
Yeah.
set up like on the wielding where I was like 10 seconds before.
Yeah.
But
Um.
yeah, they
Wasn't.
didn't go Widow.
Yeah. Then they're literally playing the hard counter you now with Castle Sombra, which is not
Yes.
gonna be fun. I guess the question then becomes like, how can you play Sombra here as ball?
Um,
There's a few things you can do.
like I play a lot in the building on the left, like where the camera is looking at.
Like here.
Yeah, here. And I usually like to use like a lot of the edge lamp, and then maybe look play for the side that my team can help me with.
Yeah.
So maybe not like the side facing their spawn door or side.
Yeah. So like not here,
Because
right?
Sombra will chase me. That's why he chose Sombra. So I
Yeah.
try to wait. But like I think she was like a lot with the Kiriko, so I couldn't do a lot. And the Mauga, I don't know, but I think he like tried to help them like at least once. So it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
really hard for me to like keep them busy there, and then I didn't know where to go from because I got marked on the spot I play on.
Yeah, so it's gonna feel like if I go one direction, someone's gonna be there. If I go another direction, Cass and Kiriko are gonna be there. If I go another direction, Malgus is gonna be there, right? So it's kind of what you alluded to in the middle of what you said, where any direction you go, you want, especially if it's dueling a Sombra, it needs to be in your team LOS. It needs to be. In your honor and your honor, your Zen and your honor. When I coach, so I used to coach a team that played a lot of honor and Zen, and we had Doomfist here, and obviously Doomfist has a very similar issue to Ball in terms of the Sombra matchup. And the most important thing for us was making sure that our Doom was playing within LOS of our honor and our Zen, not going on like these crazy ranked flanks, but making sure that if the Sombra commits onto the Doomfist, that the Zen can get value for sure. And your mindset in this comp needs to be basically the way I like describing it is like you're like a guard essentially for the honor, for the Zen and the honor here. Same thing with your Sombra too. Actually, your Sombra is also going to be like a guard for your honor and the Zen. The seconds this Sombra gets on top of your honor and your Zen, it's cooked. Your fight's going to be over because your honors are not going to be able to live that. But again, if you can draw the attention away and play within get orbs from your Zen, that's going to be really, really nice. So we'll see what you do here.
Yeah, I don't think they went on the healers because they don't know how to play Sombra. So
Yeah, it's probably like
more of like it's more like I feel like I can trust like my team. That's a problem I think I have because I need to like I need to shoot here, I need to disrupt here, I need to do all this, but I sometimes like my team can actually win.
Yeah.
So I think that was more of a trust issues.
I think on this map especially too, like it's I mean most people go Sombra anyways to just counter swap stuff, but especially on this map too, it's gonna be really hard for that Sombra to barely reach your backline. So as long as you don't feed, you should win. But we'll see. Okay. See, now you know you're on Sombra because they just popped the Translocator. Cast 2. Nice. Fine. I need to reload that sadly. Unfortunate. But this is good, right? I'm happy with that. So your Sombra was there with you the entire time. You can do nice recovery pole drivers here the entire time, and your Zen can see you, which means you get orbs and you can get healing and damage, etc. So far, so good. Okay. Fine. Okay, sure. Okay, I need to leave. Yeah, so like one or two things there, right? Either you stay here and then go ring around the Rosie and you actually leave the Sombra because she's gonna chase you, or you roll out a little bit earlier so you can save adaptive shields. But yeah, I think I'm not gonna cry about it too much because I think once we start playing in this really open space, your Honor and your Zen are gonna really hard carry you, in theory at least.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with you playing the latter half of this first point here. Okay. Whoa, this is very risky. Yeah, so maybe again this is greedy. This is really, really greedy. Where you shoot the Malga there? No. I need to leave. Like very, very, very greedy here. And actually you should have died here to be honest. The second you start shooting the Malga, because that's just again a little bit. That's a very rank thing to do. Yeah, you get hacked there. Oh, that's ugly. Yeah. Thankfully, you're fine. Okay, your Sombra gets slept, not great. That's fine. Yeah, okay, not too much you could have done there, sadly, to be honest. I mean, your Sombra gets slept, the cast gets your honor somehow, even though on Junkertown first point. How does that even happen?
I don't know. I was thinking.
I'm very curious.
I think with the Malga he went to the high ground and Anna didn't work, so...
Oh, right. Yeah, okay, it makes sense.
No. Nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, maybe had you like gone out a little bit earlier and saved a little bit more resources, you could have actually flanked around a little bit earlier and maybe catch the cast there. I don't know, but yeah, it's a bit rough here, sadly. Not too much you can do. Okay, yeah, the cash should never be able to walk here in your comp. Like the fact that again you're running on a Zen, the fact that the anyone who takes a flank in this comp or on this team should get shot down immediately. And your Sombra's playing a little bit too much for backline pressure. instead of actually controlling the
Yeah.
angles, which is what she should be doing with your backline. But yeah, not too much to add. We'll see how the rest of this goes. Okay, yeah, not too much you can do here. This is one of those situations as well where you can't actually flank around or stay behind the enemy team because the Sombra can chase you. I talked about this a bit earlier when you're playing against Bastions or Mo or stuff, but sadly, you can't really do that against that comp. But yeah. Okay. Whoa. I maybe could have gone out there a little bit earlier, but I'm not going to care about that too much.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see here. Okay, High Noon. Sure, that was a waste. Take looks on TP. Fine. Good boop. Sure. Oh yeah. Just I forgot to ask. Have you got any like questions about the perks as well?
No, I just pick like the same two, the backrat and the slam one, because the other two are so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in 6v6, people are starting to pick the tank one because you got another tank to roll through.
But I play like a few games in 6v6 with ball feels so like squishy with so
Right,
little
right.
armor, and everyone does so much damage,
Yeah, yeah.
and playing against 3 healers you can't kill anyone, so
It's
I don't play 6v6.
it's something that I've heard as well. I think with the shield one, I think they've slightly buffed it. I think
Yeah, but I don't like it's instead of giving out 50 shield, you give 17 less 33. So it's like no, not important. And you don't know if you always like share the shield every time you use it, like it would be good, but like 70% of the shields you don't share it.
right.
Like you can't actually share it because you're not with anyone.
Yeah, yeah. It's the thing though. I think against that comp, I'm looking at that comp and I'm like, okay, if I with the pole driver thing, it's longer animation, which means you can get stunned, slept, or hacked, which is not great. Rare case of stomp too. And if you are gonna pick the shield one, then something you can do is shield and then run back to your Ana Zen or your Sombra, maybe your Reaper in some cases, shield them, and then you get your shields back faster. When with the efficiency
Yeah,
thing, I think
it's weird.
if there was a comp to pick the shield one, I would say it's this comp here, where there's so much CC. I just don't see how you're gonna get a good pole driver, anyways, unless they're bad, obviously. But yeah, I think again, most of the time you should have no issues picking the pole driver one. That's kind of the one that everyone's been picking for good reason. Okay, let's see a second point and how you use your mines. Okay, sure. And again, this is completely fine. I really like this position because the Malga can't chase you, and you've got scouting information, and if someone does go onto you, you've got your Ana LOS back over here, Zen as well, so if someone goes onto you, you should be A-okay. So
Yeah, I thought like I was waiting for the Mawa to woke up a little bit because he's playing like there. So
yeah, yeah,
I don't see him.
it makes sense.
So
Fine, fine. Okay, yeah, scouting egg, you heard the chance to get a thing, that's fine there. Okay, nice swap. Nice. I think mine is okay. I think again when they're actually starting to walk in like this, the Marco's actually stomping in right now.
Yeah.
The Kiriko committed wall climb and Sumba committed TP. I think that's all fine. So yeah, mine's good so far. Love the micro. I love how well you are. Yeah, nothing much to mention here. The power driver too. Nice. Okay, not too bad. Okay. Okay, lucky you're not green that killed no one to cast. Okay. Oh yeah, your team's playing greedy though, which is a bit unfortunate.
yeah, I don't know how like with the Kiri and the Sombra dying, I don't know how we lost.
Yeah, yeah. Your team just get the kill sadly. I think maybe there's a reality where after you kill the Kiriko, around about yeah, it's a little bit before this actually. Yeah, so you have to kill the Kiriko a little bit earlier here. I think maybe there's a reality where you can maybe follow up on the cast when the Malgus actually stomps and walks away from the Cassidy.
Yeah.
Maybe that can happen. But barring that, there's not too much to say. Too much else to say. I think you do your job here. You get the Sombra out and the Kiriko, and you do your job here. But yeah. Okay, we'll do a quick summary here at the end. I think we know what stuff to work on though mainly, which is probably the biggest thing has to be like your mindset in terms of what you're thinking. So again, there's like two questions of like, when can I go in terms of your timing? Like in first point attack, I'd say, as well as third, and the second question being like, how can I go? Or like, how long can I engage for? So your ability to zone, the uptime, the pathing, with your grapple, the cover as well, and again changing your mindset from kills, from kills to zoning or drawing attention. Tons of coaches will call it zoning, other coaches will call it stalling, some coaches will call it drawing attention, whatever the case may be. But
Yeah.
again, looking at the eyes of the enemy team are going to be really, really important. Because again, that tells you when you can actually go in and how much aggression you can actually really be taking. That's by far the biggest thing, and I think that applies to the first point a lot. Where honestly, your comp should have actually hard won. You should have won first fight, honestly, based off of like
Yeah.
again the Bastion getting so low, and that could have been a very easy cap there. But yeah, and second thing there, I think that links onto that is patience for sure. Like just taking the extra seconds or two to think about basically everything talked about in the first point, like thinking about your pathing, thinking about when you want to go in, thinking about who you want to go on, thinking about your escapes, thinking about all that kind of stuff there. Like that's what the patience is for. And again, you can even link into this the whole downtime thing as well, where like maybe like when you're pole driving, so because you're locked in an animation while you're pole driving, that could be perfect time to think about where your escape path could be a great thing to think about while you're pole driving. It's the exact same thing I say to tracer players. Where like because you're in recall and you're doing nothing in recall, right? You got a full second to think about what you want to blink to, and again it's the same thing on ball with your pole driver. So yeah, that could be great. And then third thing, I mean, mechanics great. I haven't got no complaints about your mechanics here. I'd probably say, I think mines were okay for the most part. Oh yeah, shields for sure. Maybe I'll put perks in brackets. Or like against like how I'll say this actually, like using abilities. In this case, shields more specifically. And perks differently versus enemy comps. And again, this links into the one again in terms about your mindset with like, okay, I am playing ball against X comp. I want to do X thing. Or I'm playing ball against Cast Sombra, so I'm going to do a slightly different thing. And again, that links into like how you're going to be able to use your shields. So again, in the Widow example, like you really cannot waste shields that much. Whereas when you're playing against Cassandra or against Ana, I don't mind you using shields a little bit early to just win space or to just actually live for the fight or actually use shields and use that perk to be able to give shields back to your own team. That becomes a little bit more dependent, and I'm more lenient with how you use your shields when you're playing against Cassandra compared to you playing against Widow and that comp we saw on first point attack. Same thing with Pole Driver too, but I didn't see any wild Pole Drivers so far or that much. But yeah. Those are the key three things. They're kind of interconnected into one another. So yeah. But any questions?
Mm, it's not more like about ball. It's more about like mindset things.
Right.
Like I'm always like um, really like scared like to lose games. Um, so I maybe have a bit of rank anxiety. So
Yeah.
I think like how is the way to fix it, because I know I'm a good player. I don't think like I think I can climb up like a lot of a lot more ranks, but I was thinking how to like do it,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
to confront it.
I mean, I'll ask you this: why do you care about your rank that much?
Because I want to play like with better players.
Right. Okay, here's the thing: how it's weird because you're in South America, so it's a little bit different. With
Yeah,
like
it's like so little players in
exactly
the
the
top
player
lane.
base is really really small, and like your ability to actually play with good players. Like if you're in NA, it's so much easier for me to say to you, oh yeah, just play Faceit League, play ranked open queue pugs, join Discord servers, play in a team, and that's how you can actually improve at the game. And it's something that I've experienced myself, where like the second I started playing, this was a few years ago, but the second I started playing in a scrim environment, I just didn't care about my rank that much because I knew I was improving when I was playing with players that actually wanted to play in a team environment. For you, it's going to be a bit more harder to do than South America. So I
Yeah.
guess like when you say you want to play with good players, I'm assuming you're referring to like ranked, right?
Your mic is like
Is it coming out?
stopping. Yeah,
That might be. I'm not sure if that's due to my Wi-Fi, but yeah, basically
yeah,
like
or maybe mine. I don't know.
who knows, who knows. I mean you'll be able to hear this back in the recording, so it should be fine.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, I was gonna say, oh yeah, it's easy for me to say to you, like if you're NA or EU, like you can just join a team, and it's so much easier to not care about your rank because you're actively improving at the game. There's like this
Yeah,
reassurance that there's another environment where you are actually improving, and people do actually want you to improve as well, and you are improving with other players at the same time, which is important.
mhm.
But I think I mean, how is it in South America? I guess with like team and play and stuff like that, and
No,
scrims. Is it non? It's like
I don't
non-existent.
know. I'm not in like yeah, I'm not because as I said, I came back to Overwatch like in December, and I was really never into it. In PlayStation, I was, but it was a team with friends, so it was just fun.
Right,
But
right,
I don't think there are like any pro play here. Like Argentina played like the World Cup like in 2016, I think, but I think like a play name Oracle Nomas, but he only plays like on Face It, I think.
right, right.
And here it's really hard to play like on NA because I'm on 200 MS,
Yeah, it's
so
tough.
it's not that fun.
Yeah. I guess like my other bit of advice to that, and it links. It's part of why scrimming is important. Is just have other stuff going on in your life. So the reason
Mm,
why going to a scrim works or playing in a team works is because if you've got that thing going on of your scrim life, then you're actually okay with taking a hit to your rank because you've got that scrim stuff going on, and that might be going on well, right?
mm,
It's something that
yeah,
Sparlow actually used to preach. He might still preach this actually to this day, but it's something that I remember from him with like whenever players care about rank too much, like if you've got stuff that's going on in your life that's academic, if you've got a relationship, if you're going to the gym, if you're working on a side hustle, if you've got a job, if you've got like other things that's going on, other hobbies as well that's going on in your life. I'm cutting out again slightly, but basically
yeah,
like
yeah.
if you've got other things going on in your life, it's much easier to not care about ranks because if your rank goes
Mm,
down, those other things in your life they might be going well. You're not putting your eggs
yeah.
into one basket. And I guess that helped me as well. That was like during 2022 or 2021, where like I had my YouTube thing going. I also did a lot of coaching. I actually had a group of friends I went to the gym with. Like I had so many things going on that I didn't care about my rank that much.
Mm,
So
yeah.
yeah, that's the second bit of advice I can offer.
That's best.
Yeah, yeah. But that's kind of I guess the main thing I'd say. But yeah, any other questions?
Um, no, I don't think like I think this like helped me like a lot because I was mixing up like the playstyles, like the
Right.
three main ones,
Mm,
like trying to disrupt but at the same time duel.
right.
So I think like now if I trust my team, well that is maybe another doubt that I have, trusting my teammates
Yeah,
with like being back there for so long, so my team can actually profit out of me being a distraction.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that is maybe another problem I have.
I think there's this thing called the law of averages, which is like it's also called the law of big numbers. And basically, the idea is if you go on a big loss streak, and that is like, it's entirely down to your teammates and it's not down to you, then eventually, over time, you will get those wins back, and
Yeah.
or conversely, like, you'll win games because the enemy team are just terrible.
Yeah.
So it's like, it goes both ways, effectively. And I think we have a human bias to look at the negative and look at losses that weren't attributed to us. But yeah, it's kind of the thing with like door-to-door sales as well, where like if you knock on 80 doors and you get 0 sales, then you're more likely in your next 20 doors to get more sales over that, but by the law of averages. So I wouldn't be annoyed at it too much, because the more you play,
Okay.
you'll average that out over time. So focus on what you can do. Another saying that was used as well back in the day was a third of the games that you play will be wins no matter what. Another third will be losses no matter what. And the remaining third is up to you. Obviously, like those proportions aren't accurate, but the idea being is that like the games you lose are equivalent to the games you'll win. I'll just cut out that again. But yeah, the games you'll lose will be equivalent to the games that you win. I just cut again, Jesus. But yeah, basically like the
No,
losses
but
are
I
equivalent to
get
the
the
wins.
idea.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else?
No. About you, do you have anything to tell me?
Um, I mean, the thing with the ball playstyles, so the dive, duel, and the swap thing, it's not that it's outdated. I think it's just a little bit oversimplified. I think
Yeah.
the idea about stalling or
Yeah,
zoning,
when I first like saw the Golden Pants video, I wasn't like where you mentioned those playstyle. Sorry, I think like I didn't like agree as much.
right. I think that the ability to stall and zone is going to be like really it kind of links into the swap playstyle, I will say, but it's the uptime is like really important with how you disrupt, because yeah, you can like do all those 3 playstyles. It just depends on how long you can do them for, and
Yeah,
whether you're
it's
getting
like
forced out all the time for it.
passive uptime.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
are there, but not actually doing damage or running
Right,
through.
right. So yeah, and again, I think in the first comp that we saw, it was a lot of this and how long you can do this for, and then diving if you saw an opportunity, right? So maybe Widow was
Mhm.
low or Bastion was low, right? And you could have actually dove him, etc., right? But yeah, that's all I really have to say, to be honest. Unless you have anything else to add or to ask.
No, it's like off topic. Like I guess I'll come back. I get another session probably. In how much time do you think it's like
Oh yeah,
the
good point.
best?
Um, it depends from player to player. I hate saying that because it's so
Mm,
vague. But
yeah,
like if the general rule I have, and I think Sparrow has this as well, is after like at least 1.5 weeks to 2 weeks, if you feel like you're plateauing and you can't climb off of the advice that I get in a session, or you feel like you've hit a new peak and
the wall.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly, right? Like, you just can't improve anymore, then coaching becomes more useful. But if you're
Yeah.
constantly improving, or you're still climbing, or like you feel like there's still stuff to work on from the session, then that's when you don't actually need another
Yeah.
session.
This session was really well timed because I think I hit like this peak around 5 days ago, and when I paid the session like um 2 weeks ago, I was like still on Masters 5, so I guess it
Right.
was really well timed.
Yeah. And hopefully,
So
like,
well, yeah,
again,
I think
you go.
yeah, next month probably when I get my money, I'll get like another hour or maybe the four no 2 hour bundle. I don't
Yeah,
remember well.
yeah, one of the bundles probably.
Yeah,
But yeah. But yeah, I'll stop recording this session now, and that
yeah.
should